What if Elon Musk bought YouTube? Elon Musk, as you guys probably know by now, has a boatload of money. Actually, he doesn't have a boatload of money, he's got way more than that. I actually can't think of a good way to physically represent the quantity of his wealth because for the everyday average human being, it's kind of hard to really picture. Elon Musk right now has a net worth of 264.4 billion American dollars. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely don't have that much. Actually, with all due respect, I guess I kind of do know that about you guys. Elon Musk is actually the richest person on the entire planet, meaning that none of us could have more money than that crazy high, ridiculous number. Recently, our boy Elon has been using that money and buying some pretty expensive things with it. Twitter is the pretty expensive thing that I'm referencing right now. Elon Musk opened up his wallet and doled out a whopping 44 billion American dollars to buy all of the shares of Twitter that were valued at $54.20 per share. That is a lot of capital to dish out, but I think a lot of people would agree that Twitter is a pretty valuable entity. After all, in the second quarter of 2021, there were 206 million monetizable daily active accounts on Twitter. These are just the accounts that are used daily. I'm sure that there are millions of others who don't use it every day, but check it every once in a while. Either way, there is a lot of people that use Twitter, and a lot of people means a lot of money. However, apparently, Elon Musk has come out and said that it really isn't about the money for him. Now, whether you believe that or not is up to you, but what he has specifically come out and said is, well, I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech. Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square, so it's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. So this all sounds like an interesting idea, but could also be a pretty slippery slope once we start seeing how it goes. This video, though, isn't about Elon Musk buying Twitter, it's about the possibility of him buying YouTube. However, it's important for us to understand how he's approaching his purchase of Twitter if we want to fully answer this question. So without further ado, what would happen if Elon Musk bought YouTube? Well, first things first, would Musk even want YouTube? If he truly is doing it for the purposes of freedom of speech and wanting to allow all content to hit the internet, then I think he would. As I'm sure a lot of you know, there are tons of YouTube rules and regulations when posting content. So many little different things that dictate what type of content you are and aren't allowed to post. These rules are always changing and morphing as well, and a YouTube creator really doesn't have a say in what these rules will be. So, if Elon truly cares about what he says he cares about, then I can't imagine he wouldn't be interested. I think the biggest draw to YouTube, though, would be how many people are actually on it. I mentioned the daily active Twitter users earlier as being over 200 million, which is a lot, but YouTube dwarfs that with absolute ease. YouTube in 2022 has more than 2.6 billion active users on the platform. More than a quarter of the world's population will go onto the platform at least once a month. Every minute that goes by on YouTube, more than 500 hours of video content gets posted onto the platform, and with every day that goes by, more than a billion hours of content is watched by users. This makes YouTube the second largest search engine in the world, just behind Google. So yeah, Elon Musk would love to get his hands on YouTube if he could. YouTube is owned by Google, and frankly I kind of doubt that Google would want to sell it to Musk, but if they did, then Musk would really need to fork over the big bucks. Twitter cost $44 billion and the Twitter shares were $54.20. Those share prices represented a 38% premium from the closing Twitter stock price on April 1st. So the point I'm trying to make is that Elon Musk had to pay up and sweeten the deal to get his hands on all of the shares. The purchase of YouTube, if he ever was to do such a thing, would require a similar premium, which would effectively make the cost enormous. YouTube's net worth is estimated to be around $160 billion. Twitter's net worth was estimated at being around $15 billion. So basically guys, Elon Musk buying YouTube at this current juncture would actually be impossible. He may be the richest man on the planet, but there are still things that even he can't buy. But let's assume for a second though that things change dramatically. Elon Musk gains so much more wealth in the next little bit, and now he has the capability to actually purchase YouTube. What would happen if he actually did do that? Well, we can use what he plans to do with Twitter as a good example. One thing he's been talked about potentially doing when he gets in control is bringing back banned Twitter accounts. Twitter has a few accounts that are just fully banned and can't come back. Donald Trump, for instance, is probably one of the banned accounts that we're all very familiar with. It's believed that because Elon Musk wants there to be freedom of speech and have people on all sides giving their opinion, that he might bring these accounts back. He's talked about having much less of a banning system and more of a timeout system in place. If somebody does something bad, they're put in timeout for an allotted period of time and then they can come back. YouTube has a system where they suspend accounts, and this can be done so that they're suspended permanently. There are tons of accounts that have been permanently banned for any number of different reasons. Hate speech, to copyright infringement, to violating YouTube's guidelines. It's impossible to know how Elon Musk would handle issues like this, but you may see some banned YouTube accounts pop back up again if he was in charge. There's also been talk that Elon Musk might push users of Twitter to pay more. He wants to take out as many advertisements as possible without sacrificing company revenue. If he did this for YouTube, then it's possible you may need to pay to watch your favorite channels. And if we think about it that way, then YouTube really isn't that far off from current cable television channels. You pay a set amount monthly and now you have access to all of the things we currently have access to. But potentially all of those things you have access to are ad-free. This would certainly get a lot of backlash from people in the YouTube community, but it could be something that comes down the pipeline if he ever bought it. There might also be a big change to the YouTube algorithm. Elon wants to drastically change the Twitter algorithm in various ways. He wants to push out new content rather than just having the same people snowball their accounts. No one knows exactly how this new algorithm is going to work or if it's even possible with our current tech, but this is something to think about. As a YouTube creator myself, having an algorithm that makes it easier for users to interact with smaller accounts could be really good. It's really hard to grow on YouTube in the current climate of the algorithm, and changing it could be neat. Granted, we have no idea how it would change or how it would affect the user's experience, so it's tough to say if this would be for the better or for the worse. Ultimately, if Elon Musk bought YouTube, a lot of things would change about the platform. Some of them might be things that we really like, but some of them might not be things the community is too fond of. Whether any changes happen though, there will always be some sort of backlash, even if it is for the best. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think about this question, and how you think things would go down if Musk actually did ever buy YouTube? Would you still use the platform, or would you start consuming media elsewhere? Also, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and I'll catch you next time.